Welcome to the Golden Horseshoe Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Koukun Unosawa, mortgage broker with Synergy Mortgage Group. In this podcast, we chat with real estate professionals who share their local market insights, future outlooks, proven strategies, and practical tips, all right here in Ontario's Golden Horseshoe. Awesome. So we have Zachary Davella here on the podcast. Zachary is a realtor in the Hamilton area. Zachary, tell us a little bit about your journey in real estate and some of the opportunities you're seeing in the Hamilton area right now.
You know what, honestly, in the Hamilton area, I think it's still a fantastic time to be a first-time buyer, even to be a second, third-time buyer. But it truly is just the land of opportunities. There's so many beautiful properties in Hamilton, different types, different land shapes, different like parts of the house you could be looking for. And there's so many different pockets with different price ranges. It's really a little bit of everything for everyone. I'm not even talking myself about Dundas, Ancaster, Stony Creek, things like that. Just right in the heart of Hamilton. I'm just finding so many beautiful opportunities, and your sellers, they want to move too. They want to move. They want to sell their properties. So the competitiveness is just something that's really catching my attention. You're able to come into these properties with offers that you don't think will get accepted, and sellers are willing to work with you. There's just an amazing amount of opportunity for every single type of buyer out there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, Hamilton, my knowledge of Hamilton is fairly limited. Um, in my prior life, when I worked as a realtor, the first year in the business, I did some deals in Hamilton, and then almost immediately, I was working with investors, so they kind of
Yeah.
moved over to Niagara where it was cheaper, right? But tell me, I know back then the big conversation was around the GO train coming in the lower city, right?
Yeah, that's right. The LRT. LRT.
The LRT.
Yeah.
You guys have a GO train station right on the waterfront, right?
We do now, yeah, just the harbor one. Yeah, just came a couple of years ago. There's actually another one coming right near Centennial. That'll be
Okay.
the Federation. So
Yes.
we'll have two technical stops, true stops, straight in front, which I mean, already those areas are super populated, very diverse, a lot of opportunity. Again, like there's businesses, there's Walmarts, there's grocery stores, gas stations, mechanics, and each one of these pockets. But I think that Harborfront one is just something that's really boosted up the downtown community. You see,
Mm.
they're really starting to clean it up. Actually, speaking of the downtown again now, Jamesville, I don't know if you're familiar with that, right on James. It's like 100 different little condos, townhomes that were there originally. They've all been closed for well over 5 years now, and they're just finally starting to tear them down. They've just been sitting vacant, homeless people inside. All the windows, doors have been torn apart, but now
Oh, wow.
we're seeing a big push where the city is really starting to clean up and get its act together. And really, we're starting to diversify and allow for more buyers to come back in.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's definitely like we're definitely seeing. I remember driving through Hamilton a couple of months back, and it had been a little while since I went through the downtown, and I remember seeing, like you were saying, there were a few larger buildings, some of them even purpose-built rentals, right? Some of those were starting
Yep.
to pop up. So yeah, it's interesting to see that sort of transition, right? So Hamilton used to be a basically a call it a what do you call those, like a suburb or like a smaller town outside of the
Yep.
GTA, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd have a little bit of commuting, and then
More
it
like a port
became
city. Yeah.
exactly, and then it became a huge commuter city, right? Like there was that huge wave. But in some ways, Hamilton's almost developing now into its own city. You have a fairly large population base, and like you said, you have different types of properties for different people, right? You have the nice areas with higher end properties. You have the condos now,
Hmm.
and you have some starter home areas where things are still not as expensive, right?
Very much so. Like there's just it's such a beautiful thing. Like you said, it's kind of just a small city now. It's a much larger city. Our population has grown probably 300,000, I would say, in the last maybe 5 to 8 years, which is just astronomical in my opinion.
Mm,
And more people are coming, leaving Toronto. I'm hearing during COVID times, people are
yeah.
leaving Toronto to sell their multi-million dollar condos and move into their detached homes here in Hamilton.
Mm,
And that's still kind of the case, but now you're really starting to see that it's people are Hamilton proud. They really want to be from Hamilton. They want to be Hamilton because we have it all here. It's a very well developed city, and it has its downtown problems, as does everyone else. We're still a city.
Yeah, the I will say that is the one. I guess it's across the board. I used
Yeah.
to think that it was a function of smaller cities. Like for example, I used to live in St. Catharines. Now I live in Welland, and all the downtowns always you have the issue of homeless people and that kind of thing. But then when I even visit Toronto, they have the same issue too. So
Same
it's like
issue. Yeah.
every city seems to have this issue in their downtown area.
It's
I will
more
say
money, more
Hamilton.
problems.
Yeah, some of the streets in the lower city of Hamilton, like my brother works as a bus driver in the Hamilton Transit, and
Yeah.
he says like some of the streets, like when he's driving in the lower cities, like he doesn't look forward to
No.
those days.
Watching over your shoulder. Yeah.
But but yeah, especially the mountain, like it's really beautiful, right? Like it's
It
such
is.
a yeah,
It's very unique about the land of Hamilton too, right? You just got that lower portion and then the upper portion. And even people that aren't from Hamilton know Hamilton Mountain safety. It's crazy. It's very well known.
good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, so you've been working now as a realtor for just under a year. You've had an incredible sort of first year, right? Why
Yeah.
don't you share a little bit about how that journey's been, yeah, since you started?
So since I started officially, I started October 30th, 2024. First 2 months in the business of just trying to figure it out, just trying to do paperwork, trying to do anything I could. But basically, I was in the office about 3 weeks before, just getting the idea of the office community. I've never been an office guy before, so I mean that was a little bit of a change for me. But 2025 it just completely skyrocketed my career. I think I've seen a lot of people that knew me from back in the day, from many years ago, and they were reaching out to me, asking me questions, asking me for my business, asking for help. I've done 9 deals so far, working on my 10th hopefully today, and 17 leases so far, and we're just in the middle of September. 3.5 months to go, and if I'm on the trajectory, I'm going to be pushing well over 14 deals.
Yeah, that's very impressive, especially for a first year, right? Especially
Appreciate
for
that.
a first year, because in any business, the first year is usually the hardest because you're trying to like establish your process, you're getting the ball rolling, and then maybe you've started to see it already, but the the tipping point becomes when some of the early clients you work with start sending their referrals and like they're starting that snowball. So yeah, if you had a first year this good,
Yeah,
like especially in a tough market as well, this year was not the easiest
I've
year
been
to.
hearing that. I've been hearing that for sure. Definitely been living and breathing it myself. Very, very tough time to be in real estate, but it's a beautiful time if you can get it working, right? Like if you're just servicing your clients and you're putting yourself out there, I think the business just naturally comes to you. And then, like you said, snowballing. One comes to two, two comes
Yeah.
to four, etc.
Awesome, awesome. What was your journey prior to becoming a realtor, and what made you make that decision?
Yeah, so I believe it or not, my first job ever, I was prospected on. I was just sitting in Jackson Square, just I think I was having a coffee or something, 16 years old. What else do you do? Some gentleman came up to me. I actually worked for this company called Canadian Property Stars. It was a company where they door-to-door sales rather. They sell lawn aeration, which is what I don't know if you're familiar, where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
poke little holes in the grass, right? And it was water through. So they would come after students. They throw it off. Well, I'm just a student with my summer job, looking to get this company started, and then they would use that. And I think that's really what brought up my confidence, my love for sales,
Mm.
and I started with that. Then, following my later life, 19, 18, I started to get into bars, as is everyone else in my age, right? I joined Gowan and Gavel. I became a manager there at a very young age, 19. I was working there during COVID. I was doing probably 60-hour weeks, pulling in a lot of tips, a lot of cash, dealing with a lot of people and problems over and over and over.
Mm.
Really just getting my mental right. But I was used to always just being on the ball about everything. And that again, like we're talking about snowballing, how you start with something small, you get something big. I finally gave up on my dream there, went to the keg. Keg was a very brief stint, only about 1 year there, and then again another bigger thing. Oliver Steakhouse is a very very well known high class steakhouse in Oakville, where we're selling bottles of wine $2,000, $3,000. Steaks are 1,100 bucks.
Oh wow.
Things like this all the time, and it really helped with my confidence speaking to these type of people that are very well spoken, very knowledgeable, and very intelligent people. That you know what, I can have these conversations. I am capable of this, and I just continued to drive my sales goals. I just wanted to be my own person, my own business, and these are the people I wanted to be dealing with.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's interesting how those experiences, especially, so you did you end up doing the door-to-door sales with
I
that
did.
company?
I did a full year there. I mean, it was usually just Saturday, Sunday. So I spent my whole high school work or at school, and then Saturday, Sunday, I would be working at this job doing door to door.
That's some of the best training that you can get, man. Like it's hard. Like I did a little bit of it when I was in high school. Actually, I wanted to play ice hockey,
Yeah,
and anyways, I came from an immigrant family. They didn't really have the money for it, so my dad told me, "Hey, go sell these like trinkets door to door, and if you make the money, you can go play." And it worked out. I sold like $600 worth of these like
there you
sun
go.
catchers and little stuff, but from like from a training perspective and from like a self-development perspective, you have to get over a lot of your own insecurities and your like hesitation to interrupt people and bother them,
That's
and you
right.
just have to like be out there, right?
You really got to get used to, in my opinion. You got to get really good at being uncomfortable.
Mm,
That's exactly what I think the main goal is there. Because, like you said, if you're a little bit worried about upsetting someone, of course you're upsetting them. You're
mm.
bothering them. You're a salesperson, but maybe you can bring them something that they need and they don't even know yet.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, perfect. So you've had this incredible run this year as a realtor, uh, and I will say that knowing your sort of journey to get there, I will say it clicks to me a little bit more, because if you just told me that you've been in the business for a year and you accomplished this much, it sounds unbelievable to a certain degree. But knowing that you put in like, this is one of those things that I think about a lot. You have to put in the reps at some point. So if you didn't have sales experience, then you have to put in those reps once you become a realtor. But if you already put in some of those reps before, that counts for something, right? So you're starting from scratch, but you're not really, in a way. You've already gone through certain parts of that journey, and you get to
Exactly.
build upon that in a way, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, let's talk about some client stories. Any memorable ones that come to mind?
Oh, definitely. I mean, all of them have been memorable. Like, I've been very blessed. A lot of people, like you said, putting those reps in, people are coming back to trust me from maybe 4 or 5 years ago when we first met. My first actual client where I did a deal was one of my best friends. Yeah,
Okay.
I worked with him at the restaurant, and he said, "How's real estate business?" Are you ready? He also did. I know he had a condo, so obviously selling it was always in the picture too. But first month in, he calls me and asks me, "Can we go see this house right now in Mississauga?" Of course, I'm on the way. I'm already driving. I'm in my car waiting for you outside. That's exactly what the goal was for me. But that was just something that really, I tell him every day, like, you skyrocketed my career beyond, because if I didn't have you, who knows, I would have got the other seven, right?
Mm,
It's just someone that put their full faith in me, knowing I was brand new, but knowing my capabilities, hearing my way I speak with other guests and other people, that I'm definitely more than capable of selling myself. I can definitely sell a product that is worth selling.
mm. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you never forget the first one, man. Like I remember um, even something simple as writing a contract, right? Until you do it a few times,
Oh yeah.
like uh, similar to you, like one of my first clients, he didn't end up buying then. He bought with me a few years later, but we were looking. So I used to live in this condo building in Mississauga, and then he was going to buy one of the other units in that building. So we went up, saw the unit, went up to my unit. I was typing up the offer. He was in my living room. I was in the bedroom just typing this up. And then after like 30 minutes, I come out and I tell him, "Look, man, can you like, I'll call you back once once it's ready," because it ended up taking me like 3 hours to write the damn contract.
Those
It
condos contracts.
Well, it's just I didn't know what I was doing, right? So I was like
Yep.
searching up the template, double checking, right? Just going through that. And then like after a while, then it becomes like second nature, right? 20, 30 minutes, you can
100%.
spit those
You
out.
just click and point.
But yeah, the first one's always nerve-wracking. And 17 leases, like that is a lot. Like, so what was your sort of approach to this? Like, were you looking for business when it comes to leases, or was it more that people would just reach out to you and that was sort of an opportunity that you had, or
Yeah, you know what? A little bit of both. Like, I had one really, really good month this year in February. I had three people I already knew kind of ask me for some help. And then it kind of just worked out that I was doing a couple leases in January that ended up working together in February. I
okay.
closed six in 1 month. I think I really just felt that I had all those closings in 1 month. I was like, I need to continue doing this. So I would
Mm,
be reaching out to people myself. I wasn't trying to find landlords, I was trying to find tenants. And then just like you would a buyer, I'm expressing this is the value I bring. I can make your life easier. I can make these showings more comfortable, and I can negotiate the terms that are going to be best for you. I'm selling myself, and then I think that really helped me with the paperwork. I know it's not the exact same for a purchase. It's actually a little bit more complicated.
It's more.
How is that possible? But it definitely is something that has helped me massively. I have
Mm.
probably four more clients right now for leases. I'm hoping to finish with 30 this year.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great, man. I think yeah, like I think anyone starting in real estate, leases are a great way to rip off the band-aid, right? Because you get to show homes, you get to have those same client conversations that you would when they're buying a home, right? And
Exactly.
it just it just speeds up the learning process. So that's awesome.
Definitely. It really helps, I think, with your psychological too. You're able to look at people and see how they react. And you're able to really read how people are speaking, what they're saying, even if sometimes they might be saying, "Oh, I love it," but you can see deep down they don't love it. And if you don't dive deeper
Mm,
into that, they might hesitate and then go elsewhere.
mm,
But if you can show them your worth and your understanding, I think that really comes down to my waiter mentality. You're supposed to be doing something without even being asked.
mm.
That's really, I think, the beauty of it. And leases is definitely, like you said, ripping the band-aid off. There's no better way. And you get to see some beautiful properties in the process. I
Yeah.
mean, who doesn't love that?
And if anything, you're also understanding the rental market to a certain degree, right? So if ever you have a client come to you and ask you about investment properties, or they ask you about like, hey, if I were to rent out my home instead of selling it and keep it as an investment property, like what are the numbers? Like what does it look like to lease out property, right? It gives you
Exactly.
another side of the equation.
You're just furthering your knowledge. Exactly. You're being an overall professional.
Awesome, awesome. Are you born and raised in Hamilton or
No,
whereabouts? Yeah.
I was born and raised in Hamilton. I've always been on the lower mountain too. I've never once lived on the
Okay.
mountain. I don't know. It just never worked out that way for me. And I just think that's probably the best thing. Grew up, went to school now that's closed. I bet you most of Hamilton has heard of it or been to it. Sir Johnny McDonald is right downtown outside of Jackson Square there.
Yeah.
Actually, unfortunately closed in 2018, but I was one of the last graduates to be there basically.
Oh well.
So born and raised in the city. That's why when you were talking about some of the streets are a little bit sketchy for me. Just feels like home.
Awesome, awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Uh, yeah. So what's next for you? Like, I guess, so you have some goals this year to end at around 30, helping 30 families sort of with buying and leasing. Do you have any plans for next year? Like, yeah, what's exciting for you?
Me, I just real estate. I just love it. I literally love it. The whole aspects of having a CRM and reaching out to people and then reaching back to them, and that's something that's really important to me is the continuation of these conversations.
Mm.
I don't need a yes. I really love hearing yes after multiple no's. If you're telling me no, you're not ready, no, you're not ready, no, you're not ready, and then all of a sudden you are next year, I want to be that person that's been persistent. And I think that's what I really love about this business. I think I'm just going to continue on my grind, prospecting and following up and just really trying to help everyone I can. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I want to be the most knowledgeable person I can be just so I can be an overall professional in every aspect of this business.
Where does that come from? Because I know many people struggle with the follow up, right? They struggle with I guess one part is you feel like it's a rejection sometimes if you're not if you don't have that bigger picture. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm curious, where does that come from for you to have that mindset?
Well, I just know like follow up is key 100% because nobody wants to be bothered by a salesperson. It really comes down follow up is just further prospecting. I think it's a very, very cold lead and you just kind of slowly break these people down and get into their hearts. So essentially it's furthering your business. You're just promoting yourself. Even if it's not for them now, maybe they loved your business and they represent or they ask you to represent someone they know.
Mm,
It's just I think it's important to continue on with people and give them everything you can.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, no, I will say it's one of the skills that I've had to work very hard to develop. Like it didn't come I'm a big systems guy, so I will have like newsletters, I'll have like automations, all of the I'll set up like the most intricate backend system.
You do, yeah.
But to pick up the phone and call people and just send them a text, hey, just checking in. We spoke last week. How are things? It's something I had to like I really had to get over that feeling of like I'm bothering people. And like one of the ways that I've gotten over it in some cases is like figure out what is something of value you can deliver in that conversation so that like you are bothering them, but at least you're going to make it worth their while. So that's been
Yeah,
my one little hack to get over that mental block. But yeah, definitely it's not the easiest thing unless you.
it's definitely not. Follow up is just something that I think it's very crucial in the business. It's just like anything else. You can get every lead in the world. You can get a phone number. That's no problem. But are you ever going to call them back? The way I'm seeing it is what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? They say, "Why are you calling me? Don't call me back."
Yeah,
And then what? Then that's one less person you have to call the next
exactly, exactly.
time. It would be just a little bit closer to a no.
Yeah. And I think to paint the other side of the picture as well, most times people they don't really care about you. They care about themselves and they are busy. They have lives. They're concerned about their work and everything else. And like when real estate is top of mind, then they will reach out. But it's like who has been keeping in touch with them up to that point is sort of the key, right?
Exactly. You've got to keep yourself top of mind. I like to say sometimes real estate agents are kind of like the police, right? A lot of people like to say they don't like the police, they don't care about the police, but as soon as there's a problem or you need them, you're calling right away and you know who to call. 911.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a really good analogy, actually. Hopefully, the police isn't calling you every month.
Yeah. The police doesn't follow up like me, yeah.
Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome. Yeah. So I guess to wrap things up here, more on a personal note, if there was one thing that you could share, like one message you could share with the listeners, with just the world in general, based on your life experience, what would that one thing be?
I think the most important thing is that you got to really stay true to what is your real goal. And if your real goal is to be successful, you need to really take care of that. If it takes dropping people and dropping going out and dropping focusing on this energy just to be able to focus on your career, you should do it. You should
Hmm.
keep that in mind always. But I think the most important thing is be true to yourself. You got to be really, really honest with yourself, and you got to be number one to yourself because your business is you. You are a sole proprietor, right? If you're not doing well, your business is going to fail, and vice versa. Your business is failing, it's because of you. You got to really focus on what's important to you.
Awesome. If you don't mind me asking, where did that come from for you? Like, was there a moment, or was there something where that became very apparent? Like, this is something I need to focus on.
100%. I started this real estate career, so it takes you 2 years. You have, or rather, you have 2 years to do the entire course. For me, I took the whole 2 years because this is what happened. I would do the course, I would get to the exam, and I would just wait and I'd wait and wait because I'd be worried. What if I fail? What if
Mm.
I don't do good enough? What if I can't make money and I'm spending all this money? I just had all these what ifs, what ifs, what ifs in my head and all this fear that it took me almost over 2 years to complete this course. And it's now that I'm in the business, I realize that I could have started this 2 years sooner. I would have been my third year now if I finished this on time. And I really just believed in myself. I
Mm.
just think personal experience has brought me into this opportunity, and I think everybody should jump on what they want.
Wow. That is very interesting to hear, like in combination with the fact you had such a good first year, because even hearing you say when your close friend there reached out to you to work with him and he was your first client, I feel most agents when they're working with their first client, sorry, give me a second here. Most people, their first reaction is rarely jumping for it. Most of the time, it is exactly that other reaction you mentioned. It's like you shrink, you're like, how do I even book a showing? How do I like what do I do? Who do I call? Like what do I print out? Right? So maybe you had that too, but it's like that mindset of like taking the opportunity that you're given, right? Because it's the it is very interesting to hear you say that because I've seen where the in success there is a role of luck, right? Sometimes things just work out, things come together that you couldn't have predicted, but
Very
at the
much so.
same time there's the people who will take the opportunity that's in front of them, and some people, even when they're given opportunities, they don't use them. They don't like grab them with both hands. They're worried, what if it doesn't work out? They don't take that step. And like you said, like until you take that step, you can be the luckiest person in the world, but like you're not gonna make much progress, right? Um, yeah.
Definitely can't live in fear of failure, because
Mm,
there's going to be failure every step of your way, every aspect of life. You're going to fail at something. And even when you're a kid, you probably failed at tying your shoes a bunch of times.
yeah, yeah.
Now, tying your shoes with these, just like this business here. Like you said, if you don't jump on these opportunities, then you're going to be the unluckiest person in the world.
Mm, yeah. No, that's a good message there. It's yeah, like I was telling you before this call, like this is the one question I love asking. Everyone has something insightful to share, and it's yeah, I will definitely take that message. Right. If I can ask you, before becoming a realtor, was goal setting something that was top of mind for you? Like, was that something that you did?
Truthfully, I don't think it was. I think I was just focused on whatever was in front of me. I wasn't really focused on what I could be or what's coming up in the future because I had no plan. It just was working. I was making okay money. I was very, very stagnant. And that's why I think that again with the real estate, it took me a long time to finish it because I'm like, what if I lose this comfortableness, this ease, this normality? I didn't want to take the step further. But once I really sat down and I decided that I was ready to be this to person, not this person, that's when the brain started flowing.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I love hearing that. I feel like, yeah, I'm sure, like I can already see that this year's already, you've done great so far. You're going to continue on that, and I can clearly see like next year and the year after, things are just going to do like, it's just going to progress, right? You have such a, like you have a great attitude, and then you have an energy about you that like, yeah, I'm sure your clients really appreciate, and it's yeah, I only see good things for you, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. That means a
Awesome,
lot.
Zach. Yeah, so we'll have your contact details in the bottom there if anyone's interested in getting in touch with you. Your area of expertise is mainly the Hamilton area, but then you travel
That's
outside as
it.
well.
Usually travel outside, then deals Mississauga, St. Catharines listing, Niagara, everywhere pretty much we can be.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Zach, appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.